I'd first like to take a moment to thank a couple of special guests that we have today. We have valued members of Shared Governance, John Laverty and Aaron Brothers from Staff Council. Thanks for coming. Dean of Students, Lynn Reddington, a great partner to UISG. Sarah Hansen from the Vice President of Student Life's Office. Christy Finger from CECL, Student Center for Involvement and Leadership. Grant Jerkovich, who is the incoming Vice President of the Graduate and Professional Student Government. John Keller, who's the Dean of the Graduate College. And Rob Leonards, who's the Vice President for Finance and Operations. Thank you so much all for coming. So this afternoon, we'll take some time to celebrate the amazing students who've helped us accomplish so much this year. And then we'll hand the reins over to our predecessors and celebrate their upcoming year. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Rachel Zuckerman, our outgoing president of UISG, to join me in recognizing our executives this year. And I'll have Dr. Bill Nelson come up as well to hand out certificates. All right, so the first executive that we're honoring today is Michael Sylvester, who is our Chief of Staff. Mike, yeah, go ahead and clap. Yeah. Mike stepped into this important role as a new member of UISG and took it with stride. He was a great partner to us this year. He put together our very lengthy mid-semester and end-of-semester reports, which it's kind of a really tedious process if you've ever looked at them. It chronicles all of our accomplishments from the year, in addition to our finances and legislation. So Mike, thank you for challenging us to think in new ways and pushing the boundaries of how UISG can serve students in innovative ways.
All right, next up is Titus Ho, our Chief Financial Officer. And we asked some of our members who worked with Titus and other executives to provide some comments on what they think of the individual and kind of their legacy for the year. And so Adam Delos, who was the chair of our SAVOC committee, said, Titus has all the characteristics a CFO should possess. He is professional, ethical, and just overall a cool guy. It was great working with him this past spring. And I want to add, Titus, your ability to step into the role of CFO in the middle of the year was not only critical to the success of this administration, but emblematic of the person you are. Selfless, bright, and hardworking. We can't thank you enough for your service to the organization.
Our next executive that we're honoring is Andrew DeManny, our governmental relations liaison. If you know Andrew, you know that he can start a conversation with literally anyone. He is the best person to have in this role. He's been great talking to legislators throughout this year and has been a support to Rachel and I in that endeavor. He's helped us accomplish the unprecedented. We introduced a formal bill into the Iowa legislature, passed medical amnesty through the Senate unanimously, and next year we'll pass it once and for all. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you,
All right, Kelly Shearer, our Director of Communications, couldn't be with us today, but we still want to recognize her incredible work this year. We've said it a million times, but bringing a communications person into the role of Director of Communications instead of a political science major or our traditional majors was a wonderful decision. She brought incredible professionalism and experience to this role and has been an year state conversation around the cultural centers and various other issues students care about. He took on so many challenges time and time again, and when things didn't go according to plan, he would handle things so gracefully. I loved working with him and absolutely love all that he had to contribute to Diversity Committee. Thanks, Brian.
Our next executive member is Shelby Kane, Director of Sustainability. Shelby is unbelievably hardworking, persistent, professional. She's honestly a leader's dream. All year we could put our full trust in you and knowing that you do high quality, mission-driven work. And her advocacy as a sustainability champion is making huge strides at the University of Iowa to making it an environmentally friendly institution. And we had Akash Balarao share a few words about Shelby. He said, "Shelby is the epitome of a student leader. Her Hallie is another person who stepped into this role midway into the year, and so we were so gracious that she did so. She stepped into the new role with excitement and dedication and persistence. We asked the director, or the committee chair of Community Outreach to say a few words, Dan Solon, and he said, "Hallie has been amazing to work with. As Director of External Relations, she's great at sharing her love for UISG with every person in the room she meets with. As someone once said, it's like she talks about UISG as if UISG was her boyfriend." She's also so amazing with making every person feel like their voice is heard. She inspires me every day to do my best work in UISG. And if there's one quote to describe her work,
very graciously. Thanks for your work.
next we have Annabelle Sealing, our executive assistant, who couldn't be here today. But Annabelle has been a wonderful help to Rachel and I and the rest of the executives this year. We really cannot thank her enough for all the work. Whatever we needed, we could always count on her to do it. She's always
She took over my position in January with less than a weekend to transition. She was able to manage the position with her own style and flair. It's been an absolute pleasure watching Mariah grow into a leader with brilliant and thoughtful ideas. I expect her wit and mental acuity to take her far in life. Thank you, Mariah.
So that's it for our executives. So let's have one more round of applause for all of those amazing executives. So we're also going to recognize some outstanding students for their achievement within student government. So here to present the awards for First Year Senator of the Year, Committee Chair of the Year, Senator of the Year, and Legacy Member is the incoming Speaker of the Senate, Hallie Hagan.
Hi everyone. So to start us off, we'll do Freshman Senator of the Year. Within minutes of her acceptance into this organization, this woman was ready to change campus in a million ways. She is so full of ideas and ways to impact the student experience. Her drive and tenacity to get things done was essential this past year and will continue to be for years to come. Her passion for sustainability and ways to improve funding for student organizations is inspiring. I think we can all agree that big things are coming from her. Congratulations to Noelle Mills, Freshman Senator of the Year. Up next, we have Committee Chair of the Year. This woman is one of the most incredible leaders I have ever come in contact with. Her passion and dedication for and to student issues is truly inspiring. She is fiercely loyal to those around her and the causes she cares about. Anyone who has her in their life is a truly lucky individual. I can't imagine what UISG would do without her, and I cannot wait to see all that she achieves in her new role as Chief of Staff. And with that, congratulations to Lindsay Rayner, Committee Chair of the Year. Up next, we have Senator of the Year. It's really hard to do an intro for this person, but I don't think I've ever met anyone with as much passion in general as this individual. No one has the ability to empower people so effectively that I've come across. He works so well with the people around him while simultaneously pushing them to grow as leaders and people. And although there were some nights when 10 pieces of sustainability legislation were on the table and we all wanted to leave, it was amazing to see how he and his committee were so passionate on the issues. Thank you, Akash, for being an incredible friend, leader, and of course, tree hugger. And congratulations on being Senator of the Year. next we have Legacy Member of the Year. I think we can all agree that this person has left one of the most incredible legacies for student government and the University of Iowa than many other people before. She has been a mentor, friend, and role model for most of us at some point or another. Her persistence in tackling issues on campus is something we can all look up to. I'll never be able to express all of the amazing things that she has done for us, but the university lucked out the day she decided to come here. Thank you, Rachel Zuckerman, for changing all of us, UISG, and the University of Iowa as a whole forever. And now to recognize our graduates is incoming Vice President Lillian Sanchez.
Hi everyone. To honor the contributions of our graduates, each student who has served at least one semester in UISG and left the organization in good standing is awarded a cord to be worn with their academic regalia in collegiate commencement ceremonies. Executives, Speaker of the Senate, and Chief Justices of the Student Judicial Court are honored with a black and gold intertwined cord. Senators and General Justices of the, while the colors in the cord also represent the University of Iowa's institutional colors, their meaning is much deeper. White is emblematic of the charity of thought with which good and ethical decisions are made. Black is the color in which legislation is written and orders for its execution and reviews are made. Gold embodies the mettle, the strength of spirit one must possess to be successful in the execution of legislation and a platform. We are fortunate to have 9 UISG 2017 graduates present today. Please come to the front as your name is called to receive your cord from Dr. Nelson. For leadership as a UISG Senator, we honor Tayo Ajose. And Chloe Cable. For leadership as a UISG executive, we honor Rachel Zuckerman. Lauren Freeman. Andrew McNanny. Brian Leal. Michael Sylvester.
I used to be able to jump.
And Shelby Kane. At this time, I would like to introduce to you all a dear friend and role model of mine. Her leadership on this campus has been invaluable, and there is no doubt that she will continue to create change in everything she does. Please help me welcome UISG Vice President Lauren Freeman.
All right. So good afternoon again, everyone. Thank you all again so much for attending this wonderful ceremony, celebrating our administration's achievements this year, and enthusiastically welcoming the next administration. Today is really bittersweet. I have to say goodbye to an organization that has truly given me so much: friendships, leadership development, opportunities to grow. The list goes on. And I've also given a lot to this organization. Many of you have. It's hard to let something go that you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into. But what eases this transition is the fact that I know UISG is going to be in great hands. That the student leaders we've worked with this entire year are now ready to step up to the plate and make this organization even better. So last year in my inaugural speech, I referenced a quote from the musical Hamilton, I figured it was only fair that to truly complete this year, I would have to make another reference to this musical again. Some of you may remember, probably most of you don't. I talked about George Washington telling Alexander Hamilton, "Winning is easy, young man, governing is harder." My experiences this year would tell me that that was spot on. Many of you ran a campaign together, and although campaigns are a lot of work, they are nothing compared to the immense dedication and hard work it takes to represent the student body. You all have a responsibility now to represent students and produce results that benefit them. You were elected to do so. And Rachel and I took this responsibility incredibly seriously, and I know many of you did as well this year. Your hard work and commitment to not only governing, but truly serving students has led to an unprecedented year of success in this organization. Just to list some of the highlights, we successfully advocated for a university commitment to improve the cultural and LGBTQ resource centers in both the short term and long term, and also successfully advocated for a new bus route and stop that reaches these centers as well. We helped write a new mental health and sexual assault survivor statement. Advocating for a mental health and sexual assault survivor statement on our syllabi for all students to have. We pushed our governmental relations advocacy past simply advocating for affordable tuition and almost passed for a statewide medical amnesty bill through the state legislature, passed unanimously through the Senate, but it passed unanimously through the Senate, but we hit a road bump in the House, and so next year we'll get that through. Additionally, we passed a new student mental health fee through the Board of Regents that has allowed us to hire 8 new counselors for the university counseling services. And that's put our university on track to better serving student mental health needs on our campus. We helped create a first ever addiction and substance abuse recovery support group at Iowa. We installed new lockers for students to use on campus. We began the process of painting art murals in 4 different outdoor tunnels on campus to celebrate undergraduate art and beautify our campus with even more public art. And we've improved access to composting on campus with plans for future expansions. The list goes on. When Rachel and I decided to run on a platform with 70+ initiatives on it, people said it couldn't be done. But I'm proud to say that we have accomplished almost everything on our platform and more. We could have not been this successful without the amazing work of our senators and executives who've put in countless hours of their time to help us achieve these lofty goals for this organization and the university. Thank you all for your dedication and leadership. I'm so proud of everything you have accomplished, and I've loved watching each and every one of you grow this year. I also want to take a moment to thank my parents who are here today. They're in the back. Although neither of them would probably call themselves leader, like in the most common way, they've taught me so many important skills about how to be a leader. My dad, who's a retired engineer, taught me how to be curious, analytical. He also stressed the importance of patience, both for myself and for others. My mom, who's a longtime social worker and now a current counselor in private practice, taught me compassion, empathy, and humility. And while they haven't given me formal leadership training, these life skills that they've passed have really helped me develop as a leader. So thanks, Mom and Dad, for your constant love and support in my life. Thank you to Dr. Nelson, who's been a long-time advisor to UISG and has served as an important mentor to me and many other student leaders. We've had the pleasure of meeting multiple times a week and getting to know him a lot. I'm so grateful for all the time that he gives not only Rachel and I, but many of our members in UISG for helping them take on important projects on this campus. He's also just a really kind and compassionate person who gives so much of his time to serve students, and I really appreciate that. And finally, thank you, Rachel Zuckerman. Thank you for asking me to run with you, and thank you for being an amazing partner on this crazy 2-year journey. As many of you probably know, Rachel and I actually work incredibly well together. Our different personalities and skill sets balance each other in ways that create the perfect working relationship. But I also think what really bonds us together is our complete and utter dedication to work. We have spent many long nights in the IMU working on various initiatives throughout the year, and we've been known to send a few emails at 2 a.m. to some university administrators. And we also kind of hope that they notice it's at 2 a.m. so they see our dedication. And our working relationship was really just a happy accident. We honestly didn't know each other that well when Rachel asked me to run, and I accepted. But through working on a campaign together and then leading student government together, she has become one of my closest friends. Working with Rachel has truly been the opportunity of a lifetime, and we always joke that we need to get away from each other because we spend so much time together. But honestly, I often think about how lucky I am that I get to spend that much time with her. I learned so much about what it means to be a good leader by watching Rachel. Also, I know she's super busy, and there's probably like a million people who want to hang out with her, and I get to have that opportunity to hang out with her the most, so that's cool. So Rachel, I admire your dedication and passion so much. You're smart, compassionate, articulate, and overall an amazing and visionary leader. And our organization was so lucky to have you at our helm, and I'm so grateful I got to work with you and accomplish so much together, so thank you so much. So I'll conclude with one more Hamilton quote, just to round out the year. So after Hamilton was shot by Aaron Burr, he was reflecting on his deathbed, saying, "Legacy, what is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden that you never get to see." And that line resonated with me with all the work that we've done this year, because many of the initiatives we've worked on are just seeds in a garden. Generations of students after us, will benefit from our work. I think sometimes people joke about presidents being kind of like obsessed with their legacy or what they leave behind, and that may seem self-indulgent, but I see it as someone who's very committed to leaving a better place behind than what they started with. And that's really what our job in student government is, right? Making a better university for the students today and tomorrow. That legacy can be created by all of you. It takes hard work, passion, dedication, to listening to and working for students, the willingness to be flexible with the changing currents of this university, and most importantly, it takes an organization like UISG and the people who are part of it to truly dedicate themselves to serving students day in and day out. So keep the momentum alive this year. I think it's in great hands with Jake and Lillian, and so thank you so much for this opportunity. And now I get to introduce Rachel Zuckerman, who I've already said lots of nice words about, but obviously an amazing partner to me this year, and I'm so grateful to work with her.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. This is a bittersweet occasion for me, like Lauren said, as we usher in a new group of impressive student government leaders while also acknowledging the end of our administration. At the beginning of this year, we set out to better lives on campus, and I'm proud to say that I think we accomplished our goal. Like Lauren described, we've had a remarkable year. Now, I'm usually one to focus on how much there is left to be done, so I'm going to really try hard to set that aside for today and recognize how much we have done. When reflecting on our administration, I hope you have all learned that if you want to change the world, you can start by changing your own community. That's what our year has been all about. That's what University of Iowa student government is all about. Millennials are apathetic toward democracy. No worries, we'll register 4,000 students to vote. We need more mental health resources and less stigma on campus. Let's advocate for and secure a second embedded counselor in the residence halls. Students need more diverse role models on campus. We'll successfully add the goal of hiring and retaining more faculty and staff of color to the UI's strategic plan to ensure it remains a top priority for attention and resources for years to come. For those of you who have served in UISG this year, I hope you've enjoyed the empowering feeling that comes with identifying a problem and then working to solve it for the benefit of others. As our many examples demonstrate, we all have more power than we could ever imagine, but it starts by owning the responsibility that we all have to be an active citizen. This year, we also set out to change the culture of UISG to be more results-oriented and student-centered. I'd say we've been successful. I've said it a million times, but I'll say it again. This year has been by far the most productive and accomplished UISG administration in my 4 years in the organization, and everyone in this room who served contributed to that legacy. To our team, you are the best students I have ever had the opportunity to work with. Your genuine passion for Iowa and serving students gives me hope for the future of what this organization will do. It has been an honor and privilege to serve the student body this year alongside you all. Together, we represented over 20,000 undergraduate students and accomplished an ambitious platform. That's no easy task, and our work will benefit generations of University of Iowa students to come. To our campus partners and colleagues in shared governance who are in attendance today, thank you for your support this year as well. Your willingness to listen to our perspectives and consider the student voice is invaluable. It has been so rewarding to get to work with you all in the shared pursuit of making the University of Iowa a better place to live, learn, research, teach, and grow. To my partner in crime, role model, great friend, and Vice President Lauren Freeman, asking you to join me for this roller coaster ride was the best decision I've made in my lifetime. Thank you for your kindness, forgiveness, and friendship this year. You're one of the hardest working and most intelligent people I've ever had the pleasure of getting to know. From walking the halls of Congress last week to walking the aisles of Walmart last night, you've been with me for every step of this journey. And you don't get often nearly as much credit and recognition as you deserve. So this is my opportunity to remind everyone that you are fundamental and absolutely essential to every victory we've had this year. I can't wait for the next time we work together, whether it is increasing the amount of affordable housing in Iowa City or rebuilding the city of Detroit. I know that our paths will cross again soon. Together, Lauren, we also played a small role in making history this year. Here at the University of Iowa, only 5 women have served as student body president since 1988. This year, we were the second ever all-female executive leadership team in the history of the University of Iowa. I think I speak on behalf of Lauren and myself as I use this final speech to remind the women in this room and those who aren't even in the room yet that your voice is valuable and your leadership is necessary. The road is hard and the challenges are real, but this year has only confirmed for me that we need more young people, more women, more people of color at the table making decisions about issues that affect our lives. The future exists in this room, and I'm hopeful you all embrace this call to action. I'm still processing this year. Since we started, I haven't had much more than 5 minutes to sit back and soak it all in, so there hasn't been much time for reflection. But one thing I know, however, is that I would be lying if I stood here today and said I was ready to give up this job. The UISG office has become a home. I wake up every morning eager to advocate on behalf of our students, and I feel like there's still so much left to do. But if I have to give up the job, I am grateful to be passing it on to a formidable leadership team that I believe in. Jacob and Lillian, I cannot wait to see where your leadership guides this organization. This job is hard. It's really hard, but you can do it. We believe in you. And to the Bridge UI team and independent senators in the room, your passion and excitement gives me hope. I can't wait to see all that the 2017-2018 executives and senators accomplish. A 1-year term is short, so get started right away. I'm hopeful that we've left you with a strong foundation and vision to build upon, so the organization only continues to move forward and make greater strides for the students we represent. Don't forget to use the strategic plan. I can never thank the University of Iowa student body enough for allowing me to represent and serve them this year. Thank you to the people in this room who put your trust in Lauren and I when this journey began almost 2 years ago at the onset of the Block Party campaign. My time as UISG president will forever define part of my life, and I thank you all for being part of that journey. Overall, I'm blessed to be a crazy, Detroit-loving girl from Michigan with a huge Hawkeye family in Iowa City, and I want to thank you all for being at the core of that family. I leave this job exhausted, but inspired and very grateful. Now it's time for me to run off into the sunset to enjoy parasailing in the tropics like a lesser-known president, President Obama, did earlier this year. And with that, for the last time as your president, thank you. I love you all. And before we get to our swearing-ins, we'd like to call Dr. Nelson up to the stage. So Lauren started to mention it, but we owe Dr. Nelson a few more kind words. Dr. Nelson, we don't have the words to say how grateful we are for your support and guidance this year. Every single year at inauguration, the outgoing people stand up here and sing your praises, and this afternoon, we join the choruses. Thank you for telling us when we were wrong, for challenging and supporting us, and for always having snacks in your office. Your selfless mentorship cannot be fully captured, but we've tried to collect our memories and gratitude for you with this gift. Like this jar, we are filled with thanks for you. In here are memories of this past year and reasons we are grateful for you. We hope you enjoy reading them and they remind you of how much you do for University of Iowa students and especially members of UISG. And we'll jump to that part. Titus owes you fruit snacks for eating all of yours this year.
I'm going to garner your paychecks in future break.
And one more in the same spirit of the jar. We want to give you this succulent to keep in your office, because succulents are trendy right now. But more importantly, because like the succulent, you have supported our growth and blossoming this year, and we hope that this serves as a constant reminder of what you do for students. Thank you. And we have one more gift before we stop talking. Lillian and Jake, fitting with the jar theme, we've made a similar gift for you too. In here are miscellaneous pieces of advice. It's in there. In here are miscellaneous pieces of advice that we wished we would have had when we started the job. We're hopeful that you learn from our mistakes and accomplishments as you chart your own path toward authentic leadership. And we have one last thing. So for those of you who don't know, if you go to the river room or the food court downstairs, you can get discounts on Diet Coke or whatever your drink of preference is with these cups. So we are happily donating ours to you because the caffeine and the chocolate inside will be necessary as you start this adventure. You can grab these up. All right.
So now we're going to interrupt the program a little bit. We have two gifts for Rachel and Lauren. Titus, do you want to hold it first? So for Rachel, we have a Hawkeye blanket, and this is for all your future office naps. And it's also to provide you a little bit of comfort and remind you about all the progress that you've achieved this last year.
And finally, this goes really well with the theme. For Lauren, we got 2 Diet Cokes here to continue to propel you moving forward in anything that you end up choosing in life. And of course, you gotta have your caffeine because here at UISG, we promote wellness.
Right, I think that was as fun as it's gonna get. Actually, no, fun stuff to come. So So now I get to introduce Lillian once again, our incoming UISG Vice President, and invite Daniel, our Chief Justice, up to install Lillian as the official Vice President of University of Iowa Student Government.
Because you can't start a new government unless you swear new people in. Don't worry, I left my list of demands at home. It was too long. Not enough time. And, before I get started, it's been an immense honor to be able to serve as Chief Justice this past year. And it's my immense pleasure to swear in Lillian at this time. Are you ready, Lillian?
Ready.
You sure? Oh. If you'd like, you can raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Lillian Sanchez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to faithfully execute
to faithfully execute
the office of the Vice President of the University of Iowa Student Government
the office of the Vice President of the University of Iowa Student Government
in representing
in representing
University of Iowa students
University of Iowa students
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and to preserve, protect, and defend
and to preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the University of Iowa Student Government.
the Constitution of the University of Iowa Student Government.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Losing my place already. I stand with you here today, humbled and filled with joy to have been given the opportunity to address you all. I want to start my remarks by expressing my gratitude to everyone who has made it possible for me to stand here with you. I want to first thank my mother for exemplifying the importance of hard work, perseverance, and resilience. You are my rock and my number one motivator. Gracias, ma. I want to thank my sister for not only being my best friend, but my strongest ally. Alexia, thank you. It is also important for me to recognize and thank each and every single one of my mentors who have challenged me to dream big and never give up on my hopes and dreams. Among them, Rachel and Lauren. Thank you for your mentorship and your friendship. I am grateful for the many ways in which you both always encourage young women like me to believe in ourselves and make our voices be heard. Please know that you both have left a permanent and positive impact in this community. Last but not least, I want to thank the student body for their support and entrusting their faith in us. We will do our best to make you proud. I take this time to recognize everyone that has been an integral part of my life and my successes as a student at the University of Iowa, not due to formalities, but rather to demonstrate how indispensable a strong community is to the success of students, particularly students like me who may be the first in their family to go to college. From my first steps on this campus until now, I have never been alone in the pursuit of my endeavors. This isn't to say that there is still room for improvement, but rather it is to acknowledge the beautiful foundation and culture of support that makes this university so unique. When Jacob Simpson and I came together, it was very important for us to have our team reflect the variety of backgrounds, experiences, and identities that enrich our very own community. We identified passionate and authentic student leaders that not only lead with integrity, but have kept an open mind and an open heart in the creation of our shared vision. Olive Bridge UI, our team, exists because of them. In this effort, our team has recognized the importance of community and advocating for one another by acknowledging and honoring our shared humanity. We have also recognized our responsibility in ensuring a better campus that will make it possible for all students to flourish and thrive at this university. When the majority of people think about successful leadership, we are prone to think of absolute perfection. We think about extraordinary, flawless leaders who are capable of anything and everything and who probably never faced adversity. In my eyes, the truth is far from that. I am a strong believer that we are capable of becoming agents of positive change. I believe that each and every single one of us in this room and on this campus has the power and potential to create positive change in this world. Together, we can meet the needs of students and ensure their success at the University of Iowa by bridging the gap between students, administrators, other institutions, and society as a whole. I hope that we will approach issues in thoughtful and innovative ways as we continue to build on the progress of past leaders by strengthening initiatives, resources, and identifying solutions to concerns on campus. Moving forward, it is my hope that together we can continue to make positive change and a positive impact in our community. To our new administration, congratulations. I look forward to working with you all. With that said, I want to end my remarks with a poem filled with words of encouragement for the incoming year. The poem is titled Dream Big. If there ever were a time to dare, to make a difference, to embark on something worth doing, it is now. Not for any grand cause necessarily, but for something that tugs at your heart, something that is worth your aspiration, something that is your dream. You owe it to yourself to make your days count. Have fun, dig deep, stretch, dream big. Know, though, that things worth doing seldom come easy. There will be times when you want to turn around and pack it up and call it quits. Those times tell you that you are pushing yourself, and you are not afraid to learn by trying. Persist, because with an idea, determination, and the right tools, you can do great things. Let your instincts, your intellect, and let your heart guide you. Trust. Believe in the incredible power of the human mind, of doing something that makes a difference, of working hard, of laughing and hoping, of lasting friends, of all the things that will cross your path next year. The start of something new brings the hope of something great. Anything is possible. There is only one you, and you will pass this way but once. Do it right. Thank you.
Now I'd like Daniel back up here, invite Daniel back up here to swear in Jacob Simpson as the next UISG president.
Are you ready, Jacob?
So ready.
Good. I state your name,
I, Jacob Simpson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to faithfully execute
to faithfully execute
the office of the President of the University of Iowa Student Government
the office of the President of the University of Iowa Student Government
in representing University of Iowa students
and representing University of Iowa students
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and to preserve, protect, and defend
and to preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the University of Iowa Student Government.
the Constitution of the University of Iowa Student Government.
Ladies and gentlemen, our new president.
Hello, everyone, and thank you all for coming to this event. First of all, I would like to thank the many people who have supported me throughout this journey. To my family who is here today. Mom and Dad, you have instilled in me a kind of motivation, dedication, and respect for hard work that compels me to reach for greater goals and for what I believe is right. Grandma, I have not met anyone with a kinder heart than yours. And Grandpa, behind your swagger, you have the greatest capacity for empathy that I've ever known, and you both continually serve as role models for me. And to my little brothers who are actually taller than me now, your jokes and jabs keep me grounded and remind me not to take things too seriously. I would also like to thank my friends and mentors who I've gotten to share my university experience with. I've discovered a lot about myself these past years, and I credit my relationships for much of that, and I am deeply appreciative for it. And finally, Thank you to the students and greater university community for their support in electing this administration to UISG. I hope we exceed your expectations. Now this event is special because we recognize and honor the achievements of the old administration and look forward to the new. I would like to take a moment to say some things about Rachel and Lauren and their administration as a whole. After their election, Rachel and Lauren ushered into UISG a new culture based on empowering the student voice and producing results. They pushed beyond the status quo by engaging with students and the broader community than ever before, fighting for affordability and predictability with changes in tuition and non-tuition expenses, placing a medical amnesty law on the desks of state legislators, supporting students who face challenges with mental health, crafting a strategic plan for our organization, and as it's been said before, the list goes on and on. Their work was also the work of dozens of senators, executives, and students who took part in the cause alongside each other. The administration was one of collaboration, extraordinary effort, and intense passion for the betterment of lives on campus. Rachel and Lauren, thank you for your service as the President and Vice President of Student Government. You are both remarkable leaders, and I look forward to your successes after graduation. One of the most notable things about student life is how quickly life changes. Each year can be entirely different from the others. You may enter fall semester wholeheartedly with the intention of becoming a doctor, and by the spring semester, you may switch to wanting to be a political analyst, or a scientist, or an engineer. Month to month, day to day, everything and anything could change. Despite all the uncertainty that student life brings with it, students have been consistently rising to the call of service and successfully advocating on behalf of themselves within UISG for more than 100 years, for almost 100 years. And it's not surprising. Students are particularly apt to taking on difficult endeavors because we are in a position in life where our investment in learning and self-discovery leads to a healthy optimism and desire for an improved future not only for ourselves but also for society. I actually looked up the definition of student in the Oxford English Dictionary, and it pointed me to the word study, a verb that means to aim, endeavor, or undertake deliberately to do something. The etymology expresses a deep truth shared among student leaders from year to year, generation to generation. We aim to do something, we plan to achieve the progress that we envision, and we are committed to that endeavor. At this point and in this moment, the endeavor is being passed from Rachel and Lauren and their administration to Lillian, me, and our administration. And I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the progress we envision and some things we plan to do. First, students deserve a university community that acknowledges and honors their unique identities and experiences. We plan to increase cultural competency, expand the Community ID program, celebrate multicultural holidays, help purchase cultural foods for student organization events, and host monthly community discussions. Second, students should feel safe and supported throughout their time at the university. We will advocate for secure off-campus housing, background checks for property managers and maintenance staff, and improved access to mental health-related resources. Third, students must have a high-quality and affordable education. We will continue to advocate for increased state appropriations for this public institution, for scholarship and financial aid policies that ensure our students can attend this university, and for practices that decrease the cost of non-tuition expenses. This is not an exhaustive list. We also focus on our student organizations and sustainability. However, it is a fraction of the important work we are committed to completing. I'm confident that we will make great strides next year because every student joining this organization brings exceptional talent, drive, and passion. I also know that we have great campus partners who share our commitment to providing students the best opportunity to reach their aspirations. So with that, thank you for being here to begin another year of progress.